Hi and welcome to this Vivid tutorial. My name is Catherine Watson. I'm the lead clinical product specialist for cardiovascular ultrasound UK and Ireland for GE Healthcare. This is part 2 of our auto left ventricular quantification tool tutorial series, and we'll be focusing on the 4D left ventricular strain analysis, which is possible on transthoracic 4D images with a frame rate of greater than 25 frames per second. Please ensure that you have completed the first 4 stages of the tool and that you are now at the current stage of LV mass highlighted in blue, and you're ready to move on to the 4D strain region of interest tab. So simply click that tab either on your touchscreen or select it from the list on the right hand side, and it will now give you the results of the end systolic mass, which will be very similar to the end diastolic mass. And you'll also see if you've entered your height and weight details into the patient screen, you will have an indexed body surface area value as well. On the images, you can see that we have a green epicardial layer which has been added to the images. So now we have an endocardial layer and an epicardial layer, and this is what the system will use as our region of interest for our 4D strain. So we need to make sure that we are happy with these green contouring lines. At the moment I can only make an adjustment to my epicardial layer because it's highlighted in green, but if I go to my touch screen and press on Contour Select, I can actually change from the epicardial layer to the endocardial layer. So now the endocardial layer is highlighted in green. Or if I click again, I can highlight both regions. So now I can make adjustments to both of the contour layers as I see necessary. So to check the contouring, I can just scroll through the center of the ventricle just with my trackball, and I can just watch the short axis view at the bottom and just check I'm happy with the tracking. And if I want to make any adjustments, it's the same way as I've been doing it throughout the tool. I just click to where I want the green line to move to, and it will make the adjustment. If I wish to undo an adjustment, I just simply double click on that particular region and my adjustment will be removed. So once you have checked you're happy with the contouring of both of the layers, we're now ready to move on to our 4D strain results tab. So either on your touch screen or on the list on the right hand side, select the next tab. It's now going to take a minute or so just to process the results of the strain values, looking at the whole of the 4D volume. So it will just take a couple of minutes just for that analysis to take place. Please note that you can go back to the region of interest stage that we were in just by simply clicking back onto the 4D strain region of interest tab, and that would allow you to make any measurements that you may need to make. So you can now see the results have been displayed, but before we go on to look at the strain results, I just want to draw your attention to the images and the different green contouring lines that we can now see. So you can see each of the walls has been segmented up into the basal, the mid and the apical segments. You can also see that there's an apical cap that's been added. So this is our 17 segment model. This is just the standard 17 segment model. You can switch it to the American Society guidelines in the measurement package adjustments. So before we move any further, we just need to have a look at all of the green sections and just make sure that we are happy that it's tracking effectively. If the system thinks that it's not happy with a region of tracking, it will highlight that area in grey. So at the moment I can see that the apical cap region is sitting as a grey colour rather than a green. So it looks like I might need to make some adjustments to this region. You can also see that it's not happy with that tracking because it's put a red cross right at the apical cap on my bullseye at the bottom right. So any regions that the system is not happy with, this is how it will be highlighted on your bullseye. So we've got 2 options here. We can either go back to our 4D strain region of interest stage and we can make further adjustments to the contouring of the lines, or we can tell the system to include the segment. Even if the system doesn't like it, we can tell it to include that by clicking on the region that has the cross on the bullseye and then simply ask it to include that segment by pressing on the touch screen. Equally, if we think we're not happy with a region but the system is happy with it, we can choose to ignore and discard a particular segment, again just by clicking on the region in the bullseye and then selecting the reject segment button on the touch screen. But I'm going to go back and reprocess my region of interest, so I'm going to click back on 4D Strain Region of Interest tab, and I'm just going to adjust my contouring line at my apex. I'm going to go to my touchscreen and do my contour select for both endocardium and epicardium so that I can make adjustments to both. And once I'm happy with any adjustments that I've made, I can then just move back to the 4D Strain Results tab and check again with the tracking and make sure that the results, I'm happy with them. Again, it will just take a minute or so to go back and do the 4D strain processing after you've made any adjustments to the contouring lines. Okay, we can now see that the apical cap is green, so we know that the system is happy with that particular region. So we're now going to have a look at the results. So you can see at the top of the screen, the right hand side, we've got a graph which is showing us the strain values between end diastole and through to end systole. And you can see that these values are negative. That's because we expect the heart muscle to shorten as it contracts. So from end diastole to end systole, we expect it to shorten, reaching its peak of shortening around about end systole. And then we expect it to start lengthening and returning back to its baseline position. So we expect longitudinal strain values to be negative values. You can also see from the bullseye at the bottom the different regions of the heart. So each has been split up into basal, mid, apical segments, and we've got the apical cap. So this bullseye, imagine that we have got our hands on the base of the heart and at the apex, and we've just squashed the heart flat. So we've got the apex in the middle and then the basal regions around the outside. You can also have a look at the map, the colour map, which says that red is the highest point of the minus numbers, and then if any segments are in blue, these are in the positive numbers. So you can clearly see if there are any regions which are not doing what the majority are doing. So if you have a random segment that's blue, that segment is actually lengthening whilst the rest of the segments are contracting and shortening. So have a look at the colour map. That will help you and help guide you maybe to have a look at another region of the heart in a little bit more detail if the results are not following the rest of the myocardium. So at the moment we're focusing on longitudinal strain, and you can see we've got our global strain value added to our list of measurements, so it's showing about -20. We can also display the circumferential strain, the area strain, radial strain, rotation, torsion and twist. So you just need to select the different tabs on your touchscreen in order to be able to see the different displays. So this, for example, is your circumferential strain, and you can see the change in the bullseye and the graph. We can move on to the area strain, and now I'm going to go to the radial strain. So the radial strain is interesting because it's the opposite way round to the other strain values. So with radial strain, we're expecting a positive value because the muscle will thicken as it contracts. So this is the only graph which is the mirror image of the others, and you will see a positive spike. And the bullseye is mainly in blue, again because it's a positive number rather than a negative number, which would be displayed in red. So just be aware that radial strain looks the opposite to the other strain values. You can also have a look at the rotation and the twisting of the heart, as well as the torsion. Please note that you can image store any of the screens at any time just by pressing the Store tab either on your console or pressing the Store on the top left on your EchoPack system. You can also approve and exit if you're happy with the results that have been calculated, and that will store the measurements to your worksheet. Alternatively, you can press cancel if you wish to discard any of the measurements that you have taken. This concludes the part 2 of the Auto LVQ tool tutorial. I hope you have found this useful. Thank you very much for watching.